Hey folks, and welcome back here to Gatekeeper Media as we bring you the conclusion of the 2022 MVP Open out at Maple Hill in Massachusetts, our second playoff event of the Disc Golf Pro Tour this year. We're in our final round, and we appreciate you all for tuning in, including our Patreon supporters who help make all the coverage possible. My name is Dust Murray, and with me is Nathan Queen, and we're ready to get some chase card action going here.
Absolutely. Should have some decent weather again today. And tight scores up at the top. Our chase card, Ben Callaway, Matt Bell, Simon Lizotte, and Väinö Mäkelä, all sitting only 2 strokes away from each other. And Ben in a tie for 4th.
Yeah, the thing is, they are still a little bit off the leader, though. Ben 4 strokes behind, Matt Bell and Simon Lizotte 5 or 6 strokes behind. So it's going to be tough to catch, but again, a lot of valuable points on the line for our finale.
Going straight into the bags, Ben Callaway putting with the Roach. Gonna see some zones and buzzes for the upshots. Really throws the Undertaker and Onyx a lot here in the woods, and some forces for those long distance shots.
And I get the Matt Bell sponsored by EV7 and ThoughtSpace Athletics. So Penrose and Praxis for putters, Pathfinder for his main mid. Also see the Vodum, Firebirds, Synapse, a couple of Hurricanes from past days, as well as a Destroyer or 2.
Getting into Simon Lizotte's bag, putting with the P2s, going to see some MD1s and Iron Samurai 3s for his mid-range shots. Then really likes the FDs and PDs, and then leans on those DD3s and Cloudbreaker for his distance driver.
And now finally we get the Väinö Mäkelä putts with the PA3. Uses the A2 and A3 for those approaches, M4 and M2 for mids. Probably see F2, FX2 for some fairways, and then of course those D2s, D1s, and the foul core for some bigger distance.
And straight into hole 1, averaging a bit easier today. 853 feet. Need about 465 feet to carry that water. Ideally, you'd like 550 feet. It does play downhill, so a bit easier to get there than that actual distance, but still a tough approach as you've got OB surrounding this entire basket.
First, from Davenport, Iowa, Ben Callaway.
Now we get the Ben Callaway, currently ranked number 38 in the Disc Golf Pro Tour standing, so it's 2 spots off the play-in. A big finish here at Maple Hill could possibly put him in the finale, but if not, he could be ending his season here outside of USDGC. He did come 9th at Worlds, 20th at Jonesboro, has top 25 finishes at the Music City Open, Beaver State Fling, Masters Cup, and Idlewild.
Gets a nice shot off there, going to be in the middle.
Up and Garden, New Jersey, Matt Bell.
Now we get the Matt Bell, currently ranked 58 in the Pro Tour points, so not really in contention to make the finale, but still in contention to maybe get himself a good result. Add to his 33 career MPO wins, has top 20 finishes this year at Waco, Idlewild, and our first playoff event, the Green Mountain Championship.
Very unique throwing style from Matt Bell. Fun player to watch. Really knows how to throw in the woods well.
From Shrewsbury, Massachusetts, Simon Lizotte.
Kind of the hometown hero here, of course, from Germany, but lives in Massachusetts and has kind of made family there. Currently ranked 8th in the UDIS World, ranking 6th in the Pro Tour points as a bot of the semis. 3-time tour champion this year. Back-to-back OTB Open in Portland. Also won Des Moines. Had some podium finishes at DDO and the Preserve. Top 25 at Worlds. And that's a smash.
An absolute smash. Gets it to fade back a little bit at the end, but still be off to the right side. Have an Anheuser shot or possibly a forehand.
From Turku, Finland, Väinö Mäkelä.
And now we got Väinö Mäkelä, currently ranked top 30 in UDisc and 30th in the Pro Tour points. So he is qualified, but he's on the bubble for the finale. Saw him come 3rd at DDO this year, 6th at the European Open. Also within the top 15 at Des Moines and Worlds. Had a couple of top 25 finishes as well at a couple of series events this year, as well as the OTB Open. Definitely been one of the more successful European players to come over, especially in MPO.
lots of speed on this one, drifting off to the right side. Does finally get it to fade back a little bit. Clears all of those pines. It's just absolutely ridiculous distance, but going to be pretty pinched off over there. Not going to have a great shot to attack the green.
Got Ben to approach first. Sees the mouth here right in front of him. What a flight on that. Wow. That was so well done.
Can't do it much better.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at that again. Again, Ben Callaway known for his buttery smooth form.
He gets it done right there. Looking to birdie hole 1 on back-to-back days now.
Matt Bell just kind of laying up to the mouth here. Definitely a very strong putter from distance, though, so could still give it a run from there. Probably one of his trademarks is being just a big circle 2 putter. And not to be outdone by Callaway, Simon Lizotte on home turf puts it right there near the bullseye.
And yeah, like I was thinking, Väinö not really able to attack that angle too well and avoid that OB. Just going to pitch up, accept the fate of par on this first hole, which finally did average under par today. Not by a whole lot, but it went from the second most difficult to the 8th most difficult, averaging at a 3.99.
You see a couple of birdies and a couple of pars here, at least a couple of looks at birdie from Simon and Ben.
There you go.
Simon will grab it. As worth noting, there was rain pretty consistent throughout this round, but it was really light, so it didn't really have much of an impact on play. Again, wind also very much down in comparison to day 1, so definitely a lot favorable conditions for scoring.
As we do see those 2 birdies here, Ben and Simon, starting off exactly how you want to.
And Matt and Väinö will at least grab pars here, which is still a solid score for this hole.
And that brings us into hole 2, 381-foot par 3. You've got that OB rock wall all the way down the right side, and this kind of roller blocker there in the middle. Pick your straight fairway driver, I guess mid-range if you've really got the power for it.
The main thing is just hoping that you don't force it over right a little too much on the way to the pin. As that's exactly what's happened to Callaway, unfortunately. Kind of an understable fairway driver, just got away from it a little bit.
Yeah, pretty easy to do here. I was saying yesterday, I like the forehand play because if you do turn it over, mistakes really off to that left side. You're not going to be throwing something very stable on this hole too often.
And Simon throws old red and yellow, a very famous PD at this point, and gets up for a chance at birdie.
Yeah, able to slow that down enough, it never really had a chance to turn over. Got it to fade back late at the end.
Yeah, it's probably very beat in at this point. It still has a little bit of that PD stability left to kind of fight over there to the left. He's still trying to go roller, even with that rock wall there.
Just going to go around it and ends up catching a spectator wall over there. Well in bounds. As there is no OB that way, but going to put him inside circle 2.
Oh, man. I liked it as soon as it left his hand, and man, that was so well done. Let's look at this again.
It's exactly how you want to draw this up, using a pretty neutral disc, throwing it pretty flat, not really having to turn it over. and just glides there the whole way. Absolutely perfect.
Doesn't get much better than that on this hole. Really well done there, indeed, from Väinö. It's Callaway. And a slight bid to try to save par after going OB, but we'll have to settle for bogey.
And not that he wants to give that birdie back, but at least he was able to get that birdie. Still going to be even through 2 holes.
Here's Simon, a chance at back-to-back birdies to kick off the day. And that will land. What a start for Simon. Already tied for 4th now, so moving up the leaderboard pretty quickly here.
Väinö able to move up a little bit as well, getting his round started off with his first birdie here on hole 2. Before we get to a pretty difficult hole to birdie on hole 3.
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of very tight fairways on this front 9, and 3 is certainly one of them. As we see the rest of the card clean up here, it'll be a bogey here for Callaway and par for Matt Bell. As long as nothing gets out of hand.
Nothing got out of hand. Moving into hole 3, got to clear this rock wall right here to be inbounds. But really, you don't see anything like that happen too often. The main thing is to get a disc out straight and then moving slightly to the right. There's one tree that juts out that's going to cause you the most issues. You can fade back left at the end. You've got a chance to get a good birdie. And he's hit that tree that causes the most issues.
So I'm going to get your par on this hole. You're still feeling pretty good. And like you said, it's only about 110 feet to that rock wall to get inbound. So, as you were saying, doesn't really serve as a factor on this hole.
As this one was turned over a little bit too far right as far as the ideal line. But when you get up in circle 2, that's all you really want on this hole. So, very well thrown shot.
That bell will get knocked down, but that right-hand side is pretty forgiving. Should be able to get up and down for par. It's really only early left and just left side in general where you really find problems scrambling for par. Speaking of which, oh, that might be the greatest kick right he could have hoped for.
Yeah, as long as it didn't go too far, it isn't too terrible over there. Should have a bit of a line here. Couple to choose from, and executes that one very well.
Kind of a nasty slide, though, so now he's going to be outside circle 1 for that par putt, but all things considered, at least he's got a chance. Bell will get up there just fine. It is rowdy out here on Sunday, by the way.
Absolutely. Instead of just the 8 holes, you're going to have some large groups following around where they can. People love their disc golf up here, and I can't blame them. It's a great place to be.
And unfortunately, Simon is going to find bogey here on hole 3 after a hot start. Didn't quite get the approach right, and we'll be taking a 4 here.
Yeah, 1 down through 2. Still is, or excuse me, 1 down through 3 still isn't too terrible, as Ben not quite able to connect for his par there.
Here's Väinö for birdie. And he's going to can it. I'm sure it's going to be one of the rare ones here. Back-to-back to boot as well on 2 tough holes.
And just 9 birdies on the day. This hole did average a .15 over par.
Matt Bell able to keep it even through 3 holes, as well as keeping the card clean.
Ben Callaway, after starting off with a nice birdie, looks like he's going to end up with back-to-back bogeys here.
And not really the start he's hoping for. Again, he is 2 spots off of the play-in for our finale. And, despite doing some great work up until this point, he needs to put on those finishing touches to make sure that he moves up those spots. As we'll be back after a short break to wrap up our front 9.
If disc golf is your game, make Gotta Throw your Disc Golf Warehouse. With a huge selection of discs, bags, baskets, carts, shirts, and more. GottaThrow.com has all the tools to take your game to the next level. Shop online or our Golden Valley, Minnesota store. Free shipping with all online orders over $75. Online or in-store, get what you need for the game you love. GottaThrow.com, your disc golf warehouse. In the game since 1993.
Moving into hole 4, 246-foot par 3. Downhill, one of the easier holes on the course, but still a pretty tight line to hit. The extreme downhill does make it where if you do get clean, it could pretty easily jump over that wall if you haven't controlled your speed just enough.
Yeah, certainly lots to think about in this hole, and there's lots of different ways to attack it off the tee as we've seen throughout the week. So that's pretty common, getting off to that left-hand side of the circle.
Yeah, gonna be inside the circle looking for a putt, all you can really ask for on this one. Or if you don't get inside the circle, you're a bit upset, but inside the circle, you're happy with it.
Because I remember there was a famous video where Simon sat at this hole and tried to ace it for a very long time, and unfortunately never did. Could this be it?
Let's hope this is it right here. I never did watch that video, though.
Sorry for the spoilers, then. That will stay in for birdie.
Yeah, bit of a stroke of luck there. Definitely had a lot of speed on that, but Wall able to catch it, hits it at the right point.
That just looked off the whole time.
Yeah, really didn't look that comfortable. And hopefully he can get a little more comfortable now. He's got a pretty similar shot.
Gets down there, gives himself a putt for par, so mission accomplished. Drops it in.
Matt Bell able to drop it in for the birdie. Very well known for his putting stroke.
Right.
Always finds a way to scramble out.
Simon just, catching the right side chains enough to nestle in there for a birdie, making up for hole 3. A little bit of a nail biter, though.
Yeah, what a catch. Shout out to the basket on that one.
Got some booze. What's going on out there?
I'm not sure.
Maybe someone laid up from the drop zone. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that may be it.
Ben just continues to have some struggles here.
Yeah, it's going to give him the dreaded buzzard, which we've been talking about quite a bit here this weekend at Maple Hill.
It's one of the toughest courses on tour, man. There's no doubt about it.
That will bring us into hole 5, though. Another one of the most, what is the most birdieable hole averaging at a 2.56, 262-foot par 3. Carry this water the whole time. Most likely see 4 forehands here, but backhand does play also. Ben might actually go backhand.
And Väinö, despite hitting the tree, nestles in near the bullseye. That almost got scary for a second.
Yeah, I thought he had hung that out a bit too wide, but had enough speed on it. It carried all the way back.
This one played really safe from Matt Bell. Wow, that was a weird reaction, but all good.
Yeah, that thing jumped pretty far backwards, but eventually does sit down right around circle 2's edge.
So Simon's going to go backhand turnover. A little surprising, but certainly a guy who's very good at it. Didn't hit anything.
Yeah, that's a very scary putt. It's one that Simon can run. We've seen him do that kind of floating nose-up putt a decent amount this year on his way to those 3 wins that you were talking about earlier.
Gonna find a good spot for Ben to try to fight back after those 3 bogeys. And this is a tough one to run if you're Simon. I mean, still almost got it.
Yeah, that's not the same putt that I thought we would see, but still a much safer putt than his typical spin putt. Putting towards this OB is Matt Bell, not quite able to connect on 2 good putts in a row. Still sitting at 1 under par for the round.
And Ben gets a much-needed birdie there. Stops the bleeding.
We've got Ben with no pars so far. Simon finally gonna collect his first par here.
Väinö, 4 birdies in a row. He is on a heater here on the front 9. And we talked about how he was kind of on the bubble, being ranked 30th in the Pro Tour points for, getting a spot in the finale versus the play-in. But with this performance, looking like he's gonna maybe even move up a little bit.
Yeah, really trying to possibly move into that top 30 where he doesn't have to play in. Moving into hole 6, the hardest hole on the course every day this week. OB Rockwall all the way down this right side. Once you've traveled close to 300 feet, you've got to hit another small gap on the right. If you're going to maintain that flight towards the basket, there is a gap over on the left side also that leads you a bit away from it.
This one's pulled a little bit. Needs this to fade quick. And it never does. That is going to be OB for Väinö. Bogey at best. Oh, what a nasty ground reaction.
Yeah, definitely so. It looks like he even went down to putter there, trying to play safe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was one of his roaches. That's Matt Bell. Looked like he might hit that right-hand side for a moment, but does start to drift. Got far enough up where he might have a pitch up for par.
And now Simon going with the forehand instead of the last hole.
Oh, just stuck through. And stays low enough to avoid the OB.
What the hell did I hit there?
Yeah, that was almost to the right enough to hit that inside gap, but kind of catches that tree in the middle, rolls down to the left side. It gets kind of scrambly over there. But definitely possible to get up and down. Most likely not a good birdie look.
Yeah, I don't think Simon was deep enough to where he should have to worry too much about getting up and down for par. Meanwhile, Ben in a very precarious position, but makes it happen.
Oh, yeah. Great shot. Made sure his eyes never left his line there. You can see that was all wrist and arm power to get that there.
Callaway will accomplish the same feat.
Yeah, another great turnover shot getting around all those trees.
And that would have been quite the bogey save from Väinö, but he's going to take a double here.
Oh, and there may be a small chance for birdie here.
Just shorted it a tad. Will at least grab par, which is, again, a really good score on this hole.
Averaging a 3.49, so almost a full half stroke over par.
It's not going to get much easier here on this next hole either.
No, it does not.
My name's Garrett Gerthy. People may know me as Double G, and I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
Whether I'm at home or on the road, Double G craft jerky is the snack that I go for.
I've actually found myself eating Double G craft jerky on my long drives to the next tournament.
We all know Double G's got a big arm, but he's also got a big heart. Every bag of Double G jerky that you buy supports children's disc golf and goes to a great cause.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
I knew a win is great, but it's like we always say in putting in the vlogs and stuff, twice or it's luck. So now I did it twice, not luck.
And hole 7 does play slightly easier than the last hole, but it is still the second most difficult on the course, averaging it at 3.26. 404 feet, throw the straightest shot you can. Hyzer stand-up is going to be the most ideal way. Lots of hyzer, throwing it towards the right side of the fairway, letting it stand up and drift slowly the entire way.
Very flippy fairway here from Ben. Rides it all the way down. Not quite sure how far down the hill he is, though, but might have a look at birdie.
Yeah, anytime you can get close to pin height on this hole, you are loving it.
If you can not hear a whack within the first full second of letting go of the disc, you feel pretty good, I feel like. That's a great shot from Matt Bell.
Yeah, Matt Bell.
That's what's up.
Over there where we saw a couple players yesterday, inside circle 2, and very happy with that one. He's a great circle 2 putter also.
Oh, boy. Gonna be neighbors with Matt over there.
So smooth. You can tell both of them not worried about trying to park this basket. They really just want to hit that gap and make sure they travel some distance down the fairway.
Also, a fun fact, pretty much everyone was using the same disc they threw on hole 2 on this one, which I believe makes a little sense, but Väinö, unfortunately, gets kicked out a little bit here.
Yeah. Not fun over there.
What a recovery shot, though. Wow. What?
Goes long of the pin?
Barely.
That's pretty wild.
That was darn good. Oh, dude. Dancing on the rim, but unable to find the chains.
And Matt Bell overcorrects on Simon's mistake, puts it up too high.
And Ben actually managed to get to the circle's edge, so really good look here. And connects. 2 of the last 3 to get back to even.
All right, and kind of a roller coaster of a round there. But getting back to even so far has put him still in chase card if there were to be another round.
Bell will skip his just in for a few pars in a row. Keeping himself tied up with Ben in the 7th position. Väinö looking to join the par party. Missed opportunity there just to say par T. Save me, Nathan.
I tried, but I had nothing for it.
Melt, that is unfortunate.
Oh, man. Yeah, Väinö couldn't even save you on that one either. He's going to end up taking another bogey here after a double bogey. But with those 4 birdies in a row before that, still going to be under par so far for the round. Going to need to turn it back around, trying to get a birdie here, moving into hole 8. A 364-foot island hole. Pretty straight. That's pretty much it. Straightforward. Missed these couple trees at the end. You can't really swing it too wide, I suppose, because of those branches up high.
Yep. One of the most fun crowds in disc golf. Again, gathered here every year. Zach Benson in the 8 holes.
That's 6 low.
It is. Scary drop zone putt for anyone who does not make it. That looks good. Just love the 8 holes, man.
Oh, yeah. Get the green flags rolling through for Matt Bell inside circle 1.
Simon certainly gave him something to cheer for with that one as well.
Absolutely. Let's run them.
I'm sure that's just got to feel electric. The player experience of throwing on this hole if you make it.
It does. It's a fantastic feeling. You see them waving their green cards already with the disc in the air. Another shot inside circle 1 here.
And Ben from the drop zone. A rare club to be a part of.
See it again. Just a perfect putt. Very clutch save. Keeps him even par through this front 9.
Väinö back to his birdie ways after a couple of hiccups. Gets him in the top 10. Crowd does it all.
Absolutely. Matt Bell with the birdie to move to 2 down. Simon Lizotte going to follow that up, move to 3 down on the round. And the closest we've been to one of those diamond frames I've been looking for. Moving into hole 9, 400-foot par 4 with this big uphill. Going straight back down. You want to land at least halfway down this hill to really have a fairly easy shot at the birdie. Kind of plays as an island hole as well on this second shot. little bit of a turnover, but don't turn it over too much. You'll end up in the woods. Lots of different play styles on this one.
Yeah, forehand, pretty popular option, but slight backhand turnover, as you said, also used quite often. That's going to be far enough, but still a very tough approach.
Yeah, I think those were some good branches up high. It looked like it may have faded out too far left.
It's true. Ooh. Similar story here for Väinö, though it does get a roll, but it needs to not roll too far to the OB, which it will not do. So that's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Gonna be an easy upshot there. Maybe a small opportunity to run that with the righty backhand. Gonna be fading away from the OB.
Yeah, this is a slightly different pin position from last year as well. And it's pin with the putter all the way down there.
Just laces it. Absolutely beautiful drive. Let's take a look at that again.
Dang, man. Just doesn't get really any better than that.
No, I don't think it does. He's gonna cleanly give himself. He might be in circle 2. If not, he is very close.
Might be one he considers running, seeing how the round's been going. Knows how important it is for him to get some strokes and get those points to make the finale.
And Matt Bell able to use this little access road over there, kicking far enough right to utilize that. Gets into position to save the par.
Great little jump putt approach here from Simon will give him a chance to go back-to-back to end the front nine. Definitely tried to give that a little bit of a chance, and you can't blame him.
Definitely so. At 400 feet, par 4, absolutely a hole that you feel like you have to get. Played as the 3rd easiest on the course today.
Oh, kind of a fortunate break there to at least land in bounds. Here's Ben for eagle.
Easy birdie will do. You can see the crowd confused whether, they all know that he wanted that eagle, but birdie plays very well, obviously.
Yeah, it's like, should we cheer or be upset for? It's definitely a tough one. As Lizotte will land it. Back-to-back birdies to jump into 10 under total. Tied for 6th position. Looking like he'll have the best score of anyone on the chase car as we go into the back nine.
Yeah, started off pretty well. Did have a bogey mixed in there. But still shooting well. Has an opportunity to continue on the back nine. Ben Callaway, after a few bogeys in a row, works his way back to under par on the round. Väinö also having a bit of a bogey stretch. But all 4 of our players have worked their way to under par through this front nine. Simon Lizotte leading the way.
Yeah, he'll be 4 under. Väinö just behind him at 3 under. Trying to solidify his place in the Disc Golf Pro Tour finale. Is at this point, you can see Simon Lizotte was 6 strokes off the leader, now only 3 back of the leader, who is actually now Gannon Burr. But Linus Carlson just behind, and Paul McBeth just behind that. Corey Ellis, of course, still in the mix, who was our leader after the 2nd round. Either way, we appreciate all of you for tuning into our coverage here at Gatekeeper Media. Hope that you'll follow up with us and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can catch the rest of our coverage for this event as well as future events. Again, a big thank you goes out to all the Patreon supporters who helped make this coverage possible. And again, I'm Dustin Murray. With me was Nathan Clean, and we'll see you soon on the back nine.
We'll see you guys out there.